I think what is happening here is the fact that you see, to encourage supporters. So even when parties know that they have no business at the tribunal, they still go to the tribunal. And then because there are no, actions and inactions, there must be consequences to actions and inactions in Nigeria. That's what can deter, actions like this. I think there should be heavy punitive consequences against such political parties and parties.
What about
so
their
that when you're
lawyers?
approaching that's also when there are punitive measures against the parties and their lawyers, certainly, because I agree with you, certainly that will deter people. And a situation where you know that you did not have a candidate in an election, and you know that the ground for filing an election petition is that not just that you are just a political party, but you must first almost have a candidate. You must have fielded a candidate, must have fielded a candidate in that election. But in this case, you don't have a candidate, you didn't feed a candidate for the election, a pre-election matter, you approach the tribunal, and because the court had ruled that tribunal must take all matters and reserve judgment at the final stage to avoid preliminary appeals, then you see people bring frivolous matters and the tribunal having to, sit down patiently and deal with all of those matters and reserve judgment at the tail end or at the end of all of the petition. So it is, I think, what can deter such measures would be punitive measures for both the parties and their lawyers. Maybe punitive fine to be paid from their pocket, and then NBA can take up such matters. So I think that will deter a lot of people. Where you just dump documents on judges and expect them to read through the gamut of all of those documents. I saw that one as a very frivolous, rabble-rousing petition. And then secondly, also, you find out that even when lawyers know that there is no merit in a petition, because they know they want to calm or assuage their teaming supporters that there is something in the offing, and so they still approach the tribunal. You hear them saying, "Oh yes, we have a case." Meanwhile, what they canvass on social media is completely different. It's at variance with the issues that they canvass in court. In court, they are asking for nullification of an election that the court should declare that the election be reconducted. But they go to social media to say, "Oh, look, we won that election and we're going to claim our mandate." And in some cases, like in this case, you have 100 and something polling units where you are alleging discrepancies, and you call 19 witnesses, and of those 19 witnesses, maybe 11 are from polling units. Even if all of those 11 polling unit agents are able to prove irregularities, we talk about substantiality. Electoral Act talks about substantiality of irregularity. How substantial is 11 compared to 100 and something? So you now begin to ask yourself, because the court had ruled even in Obasanjo and INEC, so that even though, like the Supreme Court ruled in that case, that the irregularities were proved in Ogun State, but it wasn't substantial enough to affect the overall outcome of the election. So in this case, all of these precedents are already laid down. But because politicians will want to, give an impression to their supporters that, they have a case, and then lawyers also want to make money, they just approach the tribunal, knowing fully, they give hope, and then knowing fully well that, there is no meat in it. So some of us saw these things and we're called names that, look, there's nothing in this petition and it's dead on arrival. But we're called names. Anyway, they said they are proceeding to Court of Appeal.
So, even with the PDP, and I want to have your broader perspective on this, because expectedly, we all thought PDP should know better. And also because I had a conversation with Ase Godalo, who, convincingly, without any doubts, convinced me that he had enough evidence to strike out the case or to win or reclaim his mandate, so to speak. What could have gone wrong?
Well, without... Aswa is a very senior lawyer, and he knows. But I would not want to, at this stage, I'll probably say he probably is wearing the toga of a politician at that instance, and then maybe he's been encouraged, and then they have told themselves that they have, a gamut of evidence. But the question you will ask yourself is, the court also had consistently ruled on the issue of dumping of materials. When you allege overvoting, you must also speak to the document that you have tendered. And so that is why I do not fight petitions. No matter how much you are paying me, I will tell you that, except you want to waste your money, we will lose, because the time for proving irregularity is not enough, except there is a very technical and moot point that the court will have to take, maybe on issue of, qualification. Let's say the court, the Constitution talks about the basic requirement, which is school certificate. And maybe the person tendered a school certificate that had been held to be forged and fake, and you have overwhelming evidence to that effect, and there's a court judgment to that effect. On that ground, it becomes very easy. You're not even talking about irregularities now, but competent qualification. But you find out a situation where you now begin to talk about proving irregularity. The last case that was nullified by the court on grounds of irregularity was before the 180 days rule. That was, I think, was it Peter Obi's case? And it took the court almost 3 years before that judgment was delivered. The Oshomole's case took the court a year and a half before the judgment was delivered in that matter. As for the Bayelsa case, it was on the ground of qualification and not irregularities. So when you look at all of these things and you know fully well that the time for proving irregularity is very, very short. You see lawyers still, go ahead trying to pass, a wall that, is insurmountable. You're talking about irregularity, and then you're talking about overvoting. The court had talked about the beavers machine, examination of the beavers machine. And then the last hurdle is the fact that the presumption of regularity is consistently in favor of INEC. Once results are announced by INEC, they are presumed regular. And so it is now you who is alleging irregularity, who is alleging that the results are not regular. The onus is now on you to prove that they are not, the result is not regular. It is not on the man who conducted the election. So that note should be well taken for people who are saying, the judgment had been procured. No, the position of the law, unlike where you say he who has sat must prove. In this case now, he who has sat irregularity is the person that will prove irregularity. So because the law already presumed that everything was done properly.
Ushomo, going to court in Nigeria is a waste of time, waste of money. Is it the election? Tinubu in his words, with his mouth, said he was going to give Edo State to APC, to Okpebholo. Is it the same election PDP want to challenge in court? Even if you have evidence, you have the evidence. Is evidence you have is enough to upturn that election in favor of PDP? See the evidence. They will do why they will bring one technicality inside to disqualify them. So I've been looking at all those where they come to online saying that there is hope. APC, they couldn't prove they couldn't prove anything. They don't have any witnesses. They don't have this. They don't have that. They are not able to prove themselves. Even INEC have no representative. Stuff like that. I've been watching. I've just been laughing. I say, all this one lawyer will just be smiling. At least they made their money now, isn't it? So the election, Tinubu himself said with his mouth that I will give Edo State to you. Is it the election you want to go and challenge in court? It's a waste of time, waste of everything. Do you see Okpebholo has been even shaking? Does it look like somebody who has been even thinking that, what if today they disqualify me? What if? It doesn't look like. He doesn't. But he knows that the deal has been done, has been sealed. There's nothing you can do about it again. Do you understand? So whether there is these judges, they have integrity or no integrity. But for this one, we know that there's no integrity. There is nothing you can prove. So there's nothing you can prove. It's just a waste of time. So just be looking at it, looking at them since the election, everybody saw face to face, kuro, that these people did not win. These people voted in favor of PDP to win the election. They succeeded. They changed the figure overnight. This deal has been done, has been sealed before that election day. Whatever you see at that election day, it's just for them not to say, okay, they didn't come outside to vote at all and they won the election. So it's just that at that time when there's still constitution says they must do it. That was the only reason why APC came out to campaign or to vote, ask them to people to vote for them. Otherwise, they don't need to, because the deed has been done already. So it's just a waste of time. I just be looking at it, I say, at least the matter has come to an end. Now, Okpebholo, the responsibility now, nobody is competing with you now. There is no more court case against you now. You are now 100% Oga Patapata of Edo State. You have a lot of responsibility because that state is breeding. That state is breeding now as we speak. So you have a lot of responsibility. You must be very fast now. You must be you must be ready now. Strategize. Listen to one man yesterday say the security architecture Obaseki put in place before is one of the best in Edo State. It's one of the best in Nigeria. It was really helping. Now you came, you dismantle it, you disorganize it. I don't know whether you want to build your own. I know that's what these government officials, that's what they do. They want to start it. There's no continuity. They want to start their own. See, that's what you want to do. Make sure you do it very well, better than the one this man thought about. Because you listen to the man, he said you should go back to it again. Go back to it. Do you understand? Now, the country is breeding insecurity everywhere from all the villages. You don't have to stay Edo, and you don't have to stay the May, Edo, and Abuja. Abuja is not your place. Abuja is not where you are governing. So Edo State, those villages, Uromi, Ekpoma, Irua, Igwebe, Esan, Ebohimi, Okagben, all those places. You not go. If he plenty you not go. Western, you go. Western, you go. Emonehua, Ohwe. All those places, they have taken over. So they have taken over. Those places, if then they cry, government not be here. That is the problem. Why? Because this one in Uromi, they closer to Edo. And not be Edo people that incident happens to. That's the reason why it's on the news. Well, that's why you see it on the news. Because not be Edo, it happens to a lot of Edo indigents. Has been many times for these Fulani people. They're not the here now. So I just warn you now. Nobody they challenge you again. You get work to do now. You need to focus. That one where they see you say they do like woman. You must if government wahala nana is start to. Government wahala nana is start to. Don't say they not tell you. Anyways, please share this video. Or they do this one small. They inform you because a lot of reports they come on the table every day. Please share this video.